Hello, everybody. Just a heads up, Billy is mad at me tonight. He really, really wants to go back outside, but the thunderstorms are supposed to start soon, so I'm making him stay in. He's not liking it, not even a little bit. He's been very, very vocal about it. We have a present. It came yesterday, but I forgot to open it yesterday. I'm so sorry. So we're going to open it tonight. I'm going to say hello to all of my beautiful friends who have joined. Hello, Rocky Lennon. Sobe Liz, Slytherin fangirl, hello. Spider-Man, you are just the sweetest. You know, Joey Bag of Donuts was talking about some kind of pork rinds that you could microwave, and it was like, you know, pork rind popcorn or something. You should talk to him and check into it if you're a big fan of those. I've never heard of it, but, you know, he seemed to be quite thrilled. And Pepsi? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. C-Rex, my absolute love. Thank you so much for coming. You are amazing. Hello, Chris Sampson. Thank you so much. Hi, Shane. Good to see you, buddy. I hear you were put in charge tonight. Hello, Nana Laura. Hi, Finna7. Great to have you here. Oh, my goodness. And yes, you will get your treats. Come on, let me at the drawer. How about we do some bacon tonight? I made myself some absolutely fantastic cream cheese stuffed jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon and bruschetta. I've been craving bruschetta for weeks. Hey, chill out. My goodness. My bacon was better than this bacon, but she happens to be quite the fan of her Olroy Barkin bacon. And you might hear Billy. He's still mad. There, you got your 3 strips. You got them. I love you. Hi, Nigel1701. Good to see you. I think you need to refresh, buddy. Let me send you a message because I am live and I've said hello. Yep, I'm here. I am here. And I know everybody else can hear me because I told Spider-Man about the pork rinds and he responded that they sound good. So, Sobe Liz, new job next week. That's amazing. Hi, Army Brat. No power as usual. Well, how often does that happen? That's terrible. But thank you so much for the compliment. Oh my goodness. You guys are all so sweet to me. I can't even believe I am so blessed. I am so blessed. You guys are amazing. You are so wonderful to me. You're so wonderful to my pets. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's see what this present is. It is much love from us all. Y'all are doing this anonymous thing. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but my goodness, I wish I knew who to thank. It's a Google Play gift card. Yay! Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Trust me, it'll be used, and it is so appreciated. It'll actually probably get stolen by my daughter. Hi, Billy. Are you going to tell the world how you feel? Your feelings matter. Oh, I can't wait to show you. So, I have the best graphic designer ever. Her name is Sam. She is amazing. And I asked her to make a graphic for my motto, my quote that I've had for the last 18 years. Entire communities change one person at a time. And so she sent me a couple of design ideas. We've been talking back and forth, and she's doing some revisions on it, and I cannot wait to show you all. I'm so excited. That's definitely going to be a shirt. And it's true. It's you put positivity out there, and you wouldn't believe how it impacts people. And you can watch your whole community change. And it happens one person at a time, through positivity, through love, through acceptance, and just being a good human. No. Yeah, it's definitely not me. It's definitely not me. Hello, Wixom01. Thank you for coming. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi, Rocky Lennon. I think I said hi already, but never hurts to say it again. You know I love you. All right, guys. Thank you again. Whoever did the Google Play card, thank you so much. My daughter's recently gotten an app that she really loves. And it helps her like organize stuff, and it's encouraged her to clean her room, and it's really great. I guess it's called Finch, and she's really been enjoying that app, and it's done a lot of really great things for her. So that's actually probably what it'll get used for, is helping to encourage that. Because trust me, anything that encourages her to clean her room, I'm all for. Like, I'm in, man. So we're gonna have some fun tonight. I have a Victoria Shackelford docket, and I really love her. I do. I did start editing. Well, it's Bellingham, but we call it the church court. And I spent a considerable amount of time on that today, only to find out that the file was corrupted. So, yeah, that happened. And it wiped out the stuff that I had worked on. I had big chunks that were missing audio. So, You know what? Retrograde is back in session. Yep. And it hit both Auntie M and I. Sorry, I'm moving my keyboard because there's a swishy tail. And he's gonna click something. He's the reason that I had to switch mice. And the old mouse that I have, well, it's I use it on my editing and downloading computer now, but I had to switch it out from my streaming computer because it has a side button that's an eject button. It's supposed to be the back button when you're on a web browser, but when I'm on StreamYard, it is literally an eject button, and it just cuts me off, black screen and all. And he loves to push it. He just pushes my buttons all the way, all the time. Oh, no. Retrograde is real. I didn't even know about retrograde. Auntie M had to teach me. But everything was going wrong. It was just everything electronic was just failing. I wasn't able to make videos. It was awful. And she's like, well, Mercury's in retrograde, right? And I'm like, what's that? Yeah. Everything about it was true. Everything. And now it's back around, and right away, here we are. And I'm having tons of clips that are not downloading properly. They're missing chunks of audio. The files are corrupting when I'm exporting. It's retrograde. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love blue. It brings out my eyes. Oh man, they do that. Hi, Catherine Gaston. Thank you so much for popping on. Oh my gosh, that's an early shift. Thank you for hitting the like button. I love you so much. Yeah, see? Oh my gosh, you're so funny. I love you. You're amazing. Oh, hi, Caliban X. Great to see you. Thank you so much. And thank you for confirming the retrograde. I know. So last night I was talking about how one of the things that I've been considering doing is a 12-hour fundraising stream, because my laptops, when I first started, they were great. They did the job, right? I do a lot more now, and they're no longer cutting the mustard. So, and I definitely can't afford a new computer. So I was thinking of doing a 12-hour long fundraising stream, and, then using that to buy a new computer. And Auntie M was like, you're not buying it right now. Whatever you do, you are not buying it until retrograde's over. And she's right. I won't. It ends at the very end of August. And so it might be the beginning of September when I do the fundraising stream, and then purchase a computer. I really need a computer. Hi, Earl Grey, my love. Sherry Bingo in the house. Hello, love. Catherine Gaston, thank you so much. I wish I could see those stickers when I put them up on here. Oh, It's so cute. Ava accidentally sat on the pets button. And then when I started patting her, she was so excited. She thought it was so great. And then Billy accidentally stepped on the food button, but he wanted food, so it worked. I think they're going to learn by accident more than anything. She is adulting. She's actually here and listening. So she's here in spirit, but she's adulting. And she'll be back. She'll pop in and out. Isn't that true? And isn't that crazy? Like, it's going on, everything's going wrong, and you don't even realize that it's retrograde until it's pointed out, and you're like, oh, that tracks. All right, guys, I'm going to put the docket on so we can get right into having a good time.
Okay, this is 240870, the People versus Tercel Wade.
Good morning, I'm James Kazuki on behalf of Mr. Wade. We've had the opportunity to go over pre-sentence report, no additions or corrections, as from court without recommendation.
Okay, is there anything your client wants to say on his behalf?
You don't have to say anything? You don't have to say anything anymore.
Probably not, never do this again.
All right, Mr. Wade, I reviewed the pre-sentence report, and I'll note that this is your first serious misdemeanor. It's not a driving offense, but for the amount of money that you took, if the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office was properly staffed, this would not have been charged as a city case. It would have been charged as a state case, and it would have been a felony, and you would have been a felon. So that's the reality of the amount of money that you embezzled from this company and took. I was a former prosecutor. I am aware of what this would have been. I am aware that the prosecutor's office is not able to get to all of these matters, so they're being charged by the city. But this would have been a felony, a 4-year felony. You could have done up to 4 years in prison for this. And I hope you understand, like, I'm not going to go on and on. I promise, Mr. Gazicki, but I'm going to say this. These types of offenses, you're given this benefit of doing probation, and if you complete probation, you won't have a public criminal record of this. But I cannot express to you how serious cases like this are. Not only could it have been, and probably should have been, a felony, but it's a theft case. Right? And of all the types of crimes that people can commit, right? Of all the different types of things, driving on suspendeds, yeah, it's against the law because the government says so, right? Yeah. And then some crimes go to your character, and theft goes to your character, right? Are you an honest person? Are you a trustworthy person? And if this conviction lands on your record or isn't removed from your record at the end of this period, you're going to have difficulty for the rest of your life when you have to disclose this. Like, this is going to make you a thief, and would you want to hire a thief? I mean, it's not good. These kinds of cases, and I know this was done incrementally to get to that dollar amount, but this could have serious repercussions on your life. And I hope you do some reflecting on like the type of man you want to be, because being a thief is not something I think anyone wants to do, especially with your background. Like, you have an education in a field that you know better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and you can be a statistic or you cannot. So that's a life choice that you're going to have to make. But like, you don't have a criminal history. I think this sentence is appropriate, but this is a real bad way to start.
Let's just clarify, Judge. This conviction is not what makes him a thief. His actions and his choices to steal that money makes him a thief. He already was one before the sentence was even handed down.
So that's my lecture for the day. I'm going to adopt the recommendation. Fine of $50, court costs of $25, state costs of $50, crime victims' rights fee is $75. Those two are mandated by the state. Community service fee of $10 per day for a total of $50. And you have restitution in the amount of $4,203.66. You're going to serve a period of 12 months of probation. You're going to do 5 days or 40 hours of community service in the city of Taylor as directed by the probation officer and provide proof. You're to abstain from the use or possession of alcohol and controlled substances unless they're prescribed by a physician. And you could be subject to random drug and alcohol testing as deemed necessary at your expense. You're to complete the economic crime class 1 day as directed by probation through ETRS and provide proof and follow all therapeutic recommendations. Can't go to Tim Hortons. You're to attend and complete any other ancillary services deemed warranted. You're to stay out of establishments that primarily sell and serve alcohol. You're to maintain employment and provide proof. Are you working now?
Yes.
You must clear all outstanding bench warrants. You cannot drive without a valid license. The sentence is delayed under 771.1. Were you printed? Have you ever
Yes.
been printed on this? You were? Okay. Okay, I'm adopting the recommendation in its entirety. And I hope you learned something from this. These are not the kind of cases you want as a young man. All right, you're all set, sir. You'll hear from probation. A matter of fact, when you leave here, go downstairs to probation and you can try and set up your appointment to go over those orders. I don't expect you to remember everything I just said.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna act leave downstairs. I was like, can I take a picture of it? Cause I ain't gonna remember everything.
Yeah, they'll get you a copy. You have a
Okay.
right to have a copy of that. So they'll get that for you and set up the date
You need
for
this
your first meeting with them. Okay?
Yes,
All right, you're all set.
thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
No, just
Thank
was
you.
information. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Okay. This is 241641, the city of Taylor versus Kevin Kowalczyk.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Kowalczyk. Your Honor, we're requesting an adjournment. I'm still waiting on a discovery order. It was submitted on July 15th.
Okay. We'll adjourn it just a few weeks out
to the 26th trial.
for discovery. And then we'll see Mr. Kowalczyk back on his other date.
26th.
Yeah, we have a jury trial this Friday.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And ma'am, can you tell me your name? Mrs. Bardell, you had left the courtroom at the bond violation hearing, but I want to make it crystal clear to you. If I find out that you have been contacting and harassing the complainant, I don't need you to talk, I need you to listen. If I find that out, then I'll mute you, Mr. Kowalczyk. Just let me say what I need to say. If I find out that you have been having contact with her, I will hold you in contempt.
Leave her alone.
No, one second. Do you, ma'am, do you understand me? Okay, we're good then. All right, Mr. Kowalczyk, we'll see you on Friday.
You too. Have a blessed day. God bless, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you too.
Was he telling the judge to leave her alone? Or was he telling his girlfriend to leave the complaining witness alone? I'm not sure which, but yeah, that he was off. He was definitely off. Yeah. I told you it was weird. Oh. Yeah, that's what I think too. He was protecting his woman. Ooh. He gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Your Honor, I have Edward Hawk.
Okay. All right, this is 2/4/1686, the City of Taylor versus Edward Hawk.
Morning, Your Honor. James Kazicki on behalf of Mr. Hawk. He's going to plead guilty to the charge of disturbing the peace. Prosecutor agreed to dismiss the imitation firearms with the understanding that the BB gun will be forfeited. I'm also asking the court if we could give him credit for time served. He's been in jail 10 days on this matter.
And good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Zick for the people. There is a victim on this matter who was logged in this morning. I spoke with. We thought it was going to be adjourned, so she logged off. I talked to her. She's logging back in. Is there a Renee DeFrank? We'll need to bring her in. But Mr. Gizicki's right about the plea agreement.
Okay. Well, let's get her in here. All right, I see that Mr. Frank is present as well. So I understand there were some issues, or I recall this from the arraignment on this matter. There were some issues with respect to the charge of the imitation firearm. And it looks like the two of you have worked it out without a motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that one would be dismissed. And then there's a plea to 2/4/1687 for disturbing the peace.
Yes, Your Honor. And there's also a stipulation to forfeit the item seized as evidence in this manner.
I think the facts of this case are alarming. I want you to know that ahead of time. So I understand that there is a request for credit for time served. I don't know that I'm going to follow that request based on the allegations in this case. But I understand it's just a recommendation, but I want the parties to be aware of that. Mr. Hawk.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You understand that disturbing the peace is, 1 second. You understand that disturbing the peace is a 90-day misdemeanor with a fine of up to $500?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's the maximum I could give you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on this advice of rights form, Mr. Hawk?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, you understand if you enter a plea of guilty, you'll be waiving those trial rights. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand if you're on probation or parole and you enter a plea on this case, it could be a violation of your conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that there's a recommendation for 10 days jail with credit for time served, and that I've indicated already on the record, I'm not inclined to follow that recommendation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Knowing all of that, how do you plead to disturbing the peace?
How do I plead?
Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea? I'm sorry, did you answer that, sir?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you in the city of Taylor on July 11th of 2024?
Yes.
And while you were in the city, sir, on that day, did you do something that disturbed the peace?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't really wave it around like they said. It fell out of my pocket and I put it back in my pocket.
All right, so what did they say you were waving around?
A BB gun.
All right, and that would have been in the area of Telegraph and 94?
Yeah.
All right, and was there traffic on Telegraph Road at that time?
Yeah.
Mr. Gazicki, Mr. Fando, are you satisfied with the factual basis there?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Defense satisfied, Your Honor.
I wouldn't be. He didn't take responsibility for it. I would make him say that he was waving it around as is alleged.
All right, Mr. Frank, you have an opportunity to speak at this time if you would like the court to know anything prior to sentencing.
Okay, so I do want to say something. I was born and raised in Taylor for 30 years. Never experienced anything that scary in my life. Did not know it was not a real firearm. I was at the red light under the Blue Bridge on Telegraph. I had just dropped my 2 sons off to my mom's. I was on my way to a hair appointment. I'm at the red light and I'm in the right lane. And I see him walking southbound. So I'm going northbound on Telegraph. He's walking southbound. And as he's walking up, I witnessed him pull a black gun from his waist. Nothing fell out. He pulled it out of his waist and he was waving it around. I started just shaking and I immediately called the police. So, and another thing I want to note is he had a very smug look on his face and I was absolutely petrified. And that's just the facts of the case. And I just, you know, that's why I'm here today. Real or not, I was scared. I mean, beyond scared. So I know for a fact that it did not fall out because I watched him pull it from his waist. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. The facts of this case, Mr. Hawk, I don't think you understand when you engage in behavior like that, not only do you put other people in fear of their lives and safety, but you put your own life at risk. If police officers would have responded and seen you waving around your gun, which I do believe you did, I don't believe you that it just fell out, they'd have shot you. And they would have been rightfully so. If they see someone standing on one of the busiest roadways, probably in the state, and they see someone waving around a gun, they're not going to go, oh, excuse me, sir, is that a real or an imitation firearm? They're going to protect themselves and they're going to protect the public. And what's most alarming to me about this case is on 5/9 of 23, which is just over a year ago in the 25th District Court, you had another misdemeanor that you pled guilty for brandishing a firearm in public. And it's appalling to me. It's appalling. This is just absolutely out of control. I don't know if you have a death wish. I don't know what a person could possibly be thinking to behave the way you did. I am not following the recommendation. You're doing all I can give you is 90 days and you're doing every day of it. You'll get credit for the days that you've already served. but I find your conduct to be absolutely alarming, a danger to the community, a danger to you, just completely. It's crazy. And I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't know what needs to happen for you to learn, but the fact you just did this last year and you just pled guilty to it a year ago is unbelievable. Every day I can give you, you'll sit. An appeal to circuit court may be taken within 21 days from the date of sentence or is permitted pursuant to MCR 6.625 parent B. If the sentence includes incarceration, which it does, and you wish to file an appeal but are financially unable to retain an attorney, the court will appoint a lawyer to represent you on appeal. If the request for the lawyer is made within 14 days of the date of sentencing. So you have 14 days from today to request a lawyer. But sir, if I could give you more, I would. But I can't. Ms. DeFrank, I am so sorry that happened to you. This is just unbelievable. So that's my sentence and we're all set.
Cases like that are why she is one of my favorite judges. She is absolutely amazing as a judge. She's fair, she's tough, and not only does she come down when it's deserved, she does have programs in place where she gives people opportunities to better themselves, or if she's got one thing, which is gardening with the judge on Saturdays. So she has inmates come out, and as part of their community service hours, she takes them to a community plot and gardens and teaches them about gardening and talks to them, gives them a human connection and someone that they can look up to and learn from. So I have such respect for her. I really love her.
And I want to write, officer, can I see that? I want to write on his jail paperwork, no early release. Can I see his paper, his file real quick? He should serve every single day of that. This is 241273, the People versus Quentin Sharp.
Okay, good morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Sharp. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. Going to plead guilty to fail to display responsible double parking. She is on probation. She has talked to her probation officer.
And is this Quentin Sharp?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Gazicki.
Oh, wrong one.
No, it's failed to
I'm not on
display on the. I think it's the same plea though. There was an offer for failure to
Thankfully, no
display.
probation.
Yeah, and then the double parking ticket as well,
Right.
sir. You understand all that?
Yes.
Failure to display is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. That's a statutory maximum, plus court costs and attorney fees. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney that are outlined on this advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sharp, did you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on that advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You understand that if you enter a plea of guilty, sir, that you'll be waiving your trial rights. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes.
Okay. And you understand I know you said you're not on probation. I don't know if you are or not. I just have to tell you these things. If you're on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
All right, knowing all of this, Mr. Sharp, how do you plead to the charge of failing to display a valid license?
Guilty.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Were you in the city of Taylor on 5/22 of 2024?
Yes.
And while you were in the city, sir, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
And did you get pulled over by a police officer for a civil infraction?
Yes.
And when you were pulled over, did the officer ask you to display a valid license?
Yes.
Did you fail to do so?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Gazicki?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given, sir. That is a $100 fine, $100 court cost, state assessment of 50, and a crime victim's rights fee of 75. Those last two are mandated by the state of Michigan. That brings your total to $325 on the misdemeanor. You also have a civil infraction here for double parking. It's a 0-point ticket, but it has a fine of $165. To double parking, how do you plead? Responsible or not responsible?
How much is I couldn't hear what you said.
165. 165.
So how much it is altogether?
$490.
Okay. Yes.
But Mr. Sharp, how do you plead that double parking? Responsible or not? Responsible or not responsible?
Not responsible. I'm sorry.
No, listen.
Responsible. I'm sorry. Responsible. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I just want to make sure the record's clear, okay? So are you pleading responsible to that double parking? All right. I'm going to accept that plea as well. That brings your total to $490. Mr. Sharp, do you need a payment plan?
Yeah.
What can you pay a month?
Like $100. I got 3 kids.
$100 a month is your payment plan. Sir, if you're going to be late on a payment or you don't have the full amount, call the court, and that way you don't end up getting additional fines and fees assessed, okay?
Okay.
You won't get show cause. We have a collection program. Everything as long as you're communicating with the court, you can avoid getting show caused, okay?
Yes.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Sharp. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And what about the plate? I plan on getting a plate here in Michigan, and while I'm in the process of immigration.
That case has been dismissed.
Ese caso se ha declarado sin lugar.
¿Cómo que sin lugar? ¿No funciona?
What do you mean that it's dismissed? It's not working, or I'm not understanding.
There is no case anymore.
Que ya no hay caso.
I just want you to listen.
Ya no existe. Ese.
You know you're my little lawyer.
I can hear you, sir.
Yes,
You
Your
can
Honor. Se desestimó el caso, señor.
That was part of your plea agreement. They dismissed that case. They closed it.
Declararon sin lugar o cerraron ese caso. Eso fue parte del convenio declaratorio.
Hello?
You owe nothing on that.
Okay.
No deben nada en este. Your Honor.
Miss Massey, I am in the middle of a court hearing. Can I conduct this hearing?
I was supposed to be in the middle of a hearing too.
Miss Massey, I am in the middle of a hearing. Give me a moment so I can finish this case so I can call the other cases. But I can finish this case while I can't hear the interpreter. I'm sorry, Miss Hernandez.
No problem.
Yes, I totally lost my train of thought, Your Honor. I apologize.
I just want him to understand he has a payment plan of $50 a month and the plate ticket is gone. There is no case on that.
Ok. Solamente quiero que usted entienda que usted tiene un plan de pagos de $50 mensuales y el caso de la placa ya no existe.
Okay.
Ya se desestimó o se declaró, se desechó, señor.
Okay.
All right, so you're all set.
Está
Ms.
listo.
Massey also cannot smoke in court.
Oh,
All right, I'm taking them in the order they were given to me, so just sit tight. This is
Ya se puede ir, señor.
241212.
Thank you, Honor.
¿Pago aquí?
You're all set.
No, señor. Tiene que bajar a la caja. Your Honor, he's asking if he pays right here. I said, no, you have to go down to the cashier.
Down to the cashier.
Baje
Okay,
a la
thank you.
caja.
And they have, Ms. Hernandez, they have a line that the clerks can call to get an interpreter on the phone to assist in that, just so
Okay.
he's aware.
All right, Your Honor, I will definitely tell him that. Señor, cuando usted llama para hacer sus pagos allí con los dependientes, tienen un teléfono específico con intérpretes disponibles para que le ayuden a usted a hacer sus pagos, realizarlos.
Está bien, muchas gracias. Que tengan buen día.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much and have a good day.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Okay, this is 241287, the People versus Brian Brown.
Morning, Your Honor. James Kazicki on behalf of Mr. Brown. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. He's going to plead to impaired and also to, he's going to plead responsible, no proof of insurance. The other matters be dismissed. That's it.
All right, Mr. Brown, did you understand all of that?
I'm sorry, say that again, ma'am. I can't hear you.
Did you understand all of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is being reduced down to an operating while visibly impaired. That's a misdemeanor in Michigan. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail, a fine of up to $300, 360 hours of community service, and 4 points on your license. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney that are outlined on this advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes, I do.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on that form?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Mr. Brown, you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty, you'll be waiving those trial rights. There will be no trial of any kind.
I understand, ma'am.
Okay, and you understand that if you are on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation of your conditions.
Yes, I do understand, ma'am.
Okay, and are you a citizen of the United States, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, knowing all of that, sir, how do you plead to the reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired?
Yes, ma'am.
Guilty or not guilty?
Huh? I'm sorry.
How do you plead to operating while visibly impaired? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, has anyone forced you to get you to plea? Has anyone forced you? Okay, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Sir, were you operating a motor vehicle in the city of Taylor on May 27th of 2024?
Yes, I was, ma'am.
And while you were operating that motor vehicle, sir, was your license, I'm sorry, strike that. Had you had anything to drink prior to operating that motor vehicle?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
What'd you have?
I had a couple drinks. I was at a friend's birthday party and I had a couple drinks, ma'am.
Did those drinks affect your ability to operate a motor vehicle?
Yes, it did, ma'am.
And how so?
Well, I mean, I got pulled over. I had hit the curve and my tire, well, the tire had went flat. And when I had got pulled over, the police when they pulled up, I was intoxicated.
All right, you probably wouldn't have hit that curb if you weren't intoxicated. Is that fair?
You say what, ma'am? I'm sorry.
If you had not been intoxicated, you probably would not have hit the curb, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Gazicki, are you satisfied with the factual basis?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. Mr. Brown, you will have to be assessed by the probation department. So within the next 7 to 10 days, you'll receive notification from them for you to come in and be interviewed. If you do not receive the notification within the next 7 to 10 days, it is your responsibility to contact the court. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and while this case is pending, you have $1,000 personal bond, which means you don't have to post any money. All right, these are your bond conditions. You are to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You cannot purchase or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You may be subject to testing.
Yes, ma'am.
And you cannot operate a motor vehicle without a valid license. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Brown. Lastly, the ticket for refusal to comply with the preliminary breath test has been dismissed as the plea. That leaves us no proof of insurance. That's a 0-point ticket, but it has a fine of $165. To that allegation, how do you plead? Responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Okay, I'll accept that plea, and that's a fine of $165, and that'll just roll in when you come back for sentencing on the drunk driving, okay?
Okay. I thought you said the drunk driving.
The operating while visibly impaired.
Okay, it's the same thing, drunk driving.
Same thing. It's a fancy term for drunk driving, right?
Yes.
All right, so you'll hear from the probation department to continue with that process.
Can I ask you about I have a job now. How is it a restriction on my license to get back and forth for work?
You have to contact Secretary of State about that.
I got to go up to the Secretary of State.
Yeah, that's with the Secretary of State, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, you're all set, sir.
Now, she had to, I don't know, correct 2 people, right? He was one of them, and Miss Massey was the other for their interruptions. But what I will say is his interruption was him talking to his son and saying, you know, you're my little man, right? It was a very positive interruption. He was just not muted. He was still very respectful. Ms. Massey, on the other hand, she has quite possibly broken every Zoom court rule there is at this point, and there has been nothing but disrespect.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
All right, have a good day. Miss Ford, are you there?
Well, I reported the police.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, this is 241279, the people versus Demetria Ford.
My stuff.
Mr. Kazicki, you're muted.
Morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Ms. Ford. Waive reading, stand mute. She's going to plead guilty to larceny under 771.1, Your Honor.
You understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, so there is a plea offer to you for larceny. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500 or 3 times the value of the property. That's the maximum. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, and the prosecutor is offering you this plea with an agreement for 12 months, basically 12 months of probation, and then that would be under 771.1, which would keep it from being a permanent public record. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right, and did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney that are outlined on this advice or rights form?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on that advice or rights form?
Yes.
Okay. Ma'am, you understand that if you enter a plea of guilty, you'll be waiving those trial rights. There will be no trial of any kind.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you understand if you are currently on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, it could be a violation of your conditions.
Yes, I understand.
And are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Knowing all of that, how do you plead to the charge of larceny?
Guilty.
Has anyone forced you to get you to plead?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea agreement to get you to plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, were you in the city of Taylor on 5/22/24?
Yes.
And did you go into JCPenney on that day?
Yes.
And what did you do on that day that would make you guilty of larceny?
I went in there, I picked 2 baby items and one woman's apparel item and I didn't pay. And that's what made me guilty of larceny.
All right, and did you do that with the intent to deprive the owner of that property?
I'm sorry, what again?
You meant to keep that stuff that you didn't pay for, right?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry.
All right, are you satisfied, Mr. Gazicki?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to accept the plea as knowing and voluntarily given. Ma'am, you're being referred to probation for a pre-sentence interview. And you will receive notice from them within the next 7 to 10 days. If you do not receive notice, you must call the court because it is your responsibility to make sure you get here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, and your bond conditions while this case are pending is you have $1,000 personal bond. That means you don't have to post any money. You are to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number, and you can't have any contact with JCPenney or Southland Mall. Understood?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, we'll see you back on your date of sentencing. Watch your mail.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Yep, thanks for being patient today. All right, this is 2-4-0-8-5-4, the People versus Lamika Massey.
Morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Miss Massey. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. Oh, there's no arraignment here, I'm sorry. We're requesting an adjournment. There was a discovery order entered. I believe it came in, but we had not had the opportunity to review it yet.
All right, you understand all of that, Miss Massey?
Yes.
So we'll give you a short adjournment so that your attorneys have a chance to look at the discovery in this case so they can give you legal advice, okay?
Wait a minute, because I need my license. I have been in mental institutions. I have been in I need my license today. I done waited the 90 days.
That's not happening. I am not the Secretary of State. You need to contact Secretary of State. I don't make determinations about whether or not people get their licenses. There are statutes involved and you need to contact your Secretary of State to find out what your status is, okay?
What do I supposed to say to the Secretary of State?
I mean, you're supposed to ask them what the status of your license is.
Well, I have a chauffeur enhanced license and I need to get that today.
Okay, well, give them a call.
So I just
don't have anything to do with your license, ma'am. You need to contact Secretary of State.
Okay.
All right, we're all set. We'll send you notice of your next court date, okay?
So I can get my license back or do I get a permit or something?
You can call Secretary of State and find out what your status is.
Is my license, what is my license?
I don't know. Call Secretary of State.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome, Miss Massey.
What you need? Did you get a post?
And then she just goes and takes a phone call while she's in court still connected to Zoom. Oh, Miss Massey. Yeah, she was fun. She was fun. Oh, yeah, so does Wisconsin. We've got Department of Motor Vehicle. Now I've heard some have DOL, the Department of Licensing, some have Secretary of State, some have DMV. So it just depends. A little pig like finance. Oh. Do you want the list alphabetically or chronologically there, Sherry?
Okay, this is the state of Michigan versus Jason Humphrey 241782.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Kazicki on behalf of Mr. Humphrey. Waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. Request a personal bond or bond with a tether.
All right. Sir, I've entered a not guilty plea on your behalf. Did you go over your constitutional rights with your attorney that are outlined on this advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you give your attorney permission to sign your name on this advice of rights form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've signed the request for a court-appointed attorney. As to bond.
I observed you did have a criminal history as mostly misdemeanors. Asking for a personal bond or is not bond with a tether.
Who is the individual? Jason.
Right, because
I'm sorry, what's that?
His wife.
Oh, it says why?
It's supposed to be but there's extenuating circumstances.
I didn't hear that.
I asked your attorney who the complainant was, and he indicated it's your wife.
No, most definitely not my wife. The complainant is Daryl Kane.
Okay, calm down, okay?
No, that's okay. Me. Sorry.
Who is Daryl? Okay, so Daryl
he's like
King, do you live in the same house?
Yes, we do. With my wife, my kid, Daryl, and her sister.
Okay.
Daryl's
Sir,
a good guy, and I was wrong.
sir, you have a constitutional right to remain silent, and anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. So I just want you to be conscientious of that before you make any statements in open court, because they could impact your rights in the future, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm looking at your criminal history, sir. I am concerned you've got a prior aggravated assault on your record. You've also got a very concerning felony conviction that is just a few years old.
I can explain that.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to tell me that.
Okay.
All right, you can talk to your attorney.
Okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just nervous
I
about all
understand.
this.
You cannot go to the home where Daryl Kane lives. You understand me?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Do you
understand.
have another place that you can stay?
I got a couple friends I could probably stay with, yes.
All right, when you get out, you have 48 hours to contact the court and let us know that address. Because if we don't have an address on you, Mr. Humphrey, we won't know where to send the court notices. So you have to provide that address to us within 48 hours of release.
Okay. So, I mean, so we understand the problem wasn't between me and my wife, right?
Under domestic violence, the statute does not require that it be a spouse. It requires that it be a resident or former resident of your household, sir.
Yes, I'm just pointing out the fact that it's not my spouse.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay. She's actually my caregiver.
Okay, sir, give me a minute, okay? I'm trying to review a whole file here. Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Wizicki.
I'm so stressed. Please, God, I need my wife. No, I need my wife. I'm sober. And I will not be going back there because I don't want no issues.
All right, sir, listen to me. You're going to have a $10,000 personal bond. That means you don't have to post any money, okay? But you need to understand these conditions, because if you violate them, you will sit in the Wayne County Jail while this case is pending. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You cannot have any contact with Daryl Kane, and you can return on one occasion with a police escort to obtain your personal belongings. But you cannot otherwise return to that address while Daryl Kane is residing at that address. You're to have no contact with him. If I find out you have contact, you will go to the Wayne County Jail. You can't call him, write him, email him. You can't send him anything. You can't go to where he works or lives. You cannot have any contact of any kind. You can't contact him through social media sites. If you see him in a store or a restaurant, for example, you must leave there immediately. If he contacts you, do not reply. This is an order of the court, and the person named as the victim in this case cannot change, alter, or amend the order in any way. They can't change it, only a judge can. If the order needs to be changed in the future, we will conduct a hearing where both sides are present. Sir, you also cannot possess or have access to firearms
I don't.
while this case is pending. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir.
Mr. Drulard will be next.
Mr. Quartz, my court recorder just pointed out that are you retained counsel for Mr. Drulard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak with him prior to his arraignment?
I'm okay, Your Honor. I came to the jail last night.
Okay. All right. Mr. Gazicki, our House counsel did meet with Mr. Drulard for purposes of arraignment, but if you're standing in, I mean, you're his retained attorney. So this is 241784, the people versus Micah Drulard.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Thomas Courts, P77177, appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Okay. As to arraignment.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're going to waive a formal reading, but if the court would just be so kind as to tell us the underlying charge.
All right, the charge is single count, police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. I'm just going to read it to you. Did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Joshua Franklin, a police officer at the Taylor Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his or her duties. This is a felony punishable by up to 2 years and or $2,000. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D parent 6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. And this allegation is alleged to have occurred on 7/23/24 at Beach Daily in Newcastle in the city of Taylor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would the court like me to speak to bond?
Well, let me advise him of his rights first. Mr. Drulard, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney, and you have a right to have that attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. If you cannot afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I want you to know you have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. The first is your probable cause conference, and your probable cause conference is set for August 5th of 2024, and you can appear at that hearing via Zoom, and that'll be at the 23rd District Court. Following that, on August 12th of 2024, you will have your preliminary exam. At your exam, the prosecutor must show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. Sir, do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, counsel as to bond.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. My client, it's my understanding, has no violent history of crime. He has a minor child. He's employed with the city. His family lives locally. I believe his father's in the courtroom to ensure that if released, he can get home. You're not going to have any problems for my client, Your Honor. He's not a threat to the public, and he's definitely going to appear in court.
All right, here's one of my concerns with the personal bond, counsel. I swore this complaint in, or this complaint was sworn in front of me just an hour or so ago, and there was allegations regarding firearms. It's my understanding there was a firearm in the vehicle. Listen, this is the part where you remain silent, Mr. Drulard. Let me have it out with your attorney, okay? There are firearms in the home. There are firearms that were in the vehicle. And I understand he's not charged with those offenses, but it's certainly concerning to me with respect to a personal bond that he'll be released to a home with firearms in it. All firearms must be removed from the home. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Martin Julian.
All right. Is Martin just M-A-R-T-I-N?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Drulard, are you indicating that the defendant here is welcome back in your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand? I know just from the report that there are firearms in the home.
Yes, Your Honor. I plan on getting rid of them all, selling them all.
Okay, well, he can't get out until all of those firearms are removed from your house.
They'll be removed
He
today.
cannot go in your vehicle with a gun. He can't go in a house with a gun. And if he is discovered to have violated that condition, sir, you will sit in the Wayne County Jail.
Can I say something? Last night.
I don't want you to say anything about the case. I don't want to know about the incident.
Something previous that there was some people who, you know, we have a problem in the city.
No, I don't want to know any of that.
That's why the gun was in
Mr.
the car.
Mr. Drulard, listen, I'm trying to get through this hearing. I just want everyone to be clear that if if, I mean, he doesn't have a criminal history that would stop him from having a personal bond, but it's very concerning to me that there are firearms in the home.
They'll be
So
gone when I walk out the door.
all firearms must be removed from home.
Please go home.
Okay? You cannot be near them, Mr. Drulard. Do you understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm giving you a $20,000 personal bond. That means you do not need to post any money. But I want to be clear, you are to follow these instructions. These are your bond conditions. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You are to have no assaultive contact with Martin Drulard. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
All right, you want contact, is that accurate? You have to say it out so loud.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just for the record.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
I want to be clear to you, Micah Drulard, if there are allegations of assaultive behavior going on at that house, you will sit in the Wayne County Jail.
Yeah.
If you can't control yourself there, you're not going to be there. We'll just put you in jail. No firearms, can't operate a motor vehicle without a valid license, and you cannot purchase or consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and you may be subject to testing on demand. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So
You're to have no assaultive contact at all with Martin Drulard, or I will revoke your bond.
Your Honor, when can I go home?
Once. Yeah, and Mr. Schwartz, we don't have an appearance from you in the file, so can you get that filed right away?
Yes, I apologize, Your Honor. I believe it was just filed at the window about 10 minutes ago. I apologize for the delay.
Okay, then it just hasn't made its way upstairs yet. We'll see it when it gets here. All right, we're
Thank you,
all
Your
set. He had, Mr. Quartz, you received those 2 court dates. You got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next will be Ms. Cartwright, Your Honor.
Here's the file on that one you just gave it to me.
Up to the door. Can you move this?
All right, this is 241338FY, the People versus Jennifer Cartwright. We also have warrant files. This is a warrant file 172919, 172918, and 194705. Mr. Gizicki.
James Gizicki on behalf of the defendant, waive reading of the complaint, stand mute. Leave the bond discretion of the court.
All right, ma'am. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. 1 second, let's actually, before I get to that, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you, as Mr. Gizicki was appointed to represent you today. I have signed the request for a court-appointed attorney to ensure that you have representation at your next hearing. Ma'am, you have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. The first is your probable cause conference, which will be set for August 5th of 2024.
I'm thinking it is a long-lost relative of Schmiegel. Or Spiegel. How do you say that? Someone has her precious.
Your second hearing will be your preliminary exam, which will be set on August 12th of 2024. At your exam, the prosecutor must show that a crime is committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. And she's got, well, a $3,000 warrant out of another county. She's got a criminal history, which includes violent crimes, assaultive crimes. She clearly has a substance use disorder and suffers from addiction, but her criminal history goes back almost 20 years. She's got multiple cases and warrant status here. She is ineligible, in my opinion, for a personal bond, and these are assaultive crimes that she's charged with. On the 241338, she will have a bond of $50,000, cash or surety. These are your bond conditions. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're not to have any contact with Lynette Frey, F-R-E-Y. And you cannot return. Is this an address that she resided at? All right, well, you're not going home for a little while anyway. All kinds of courts, I'm sure, want to speak with you because you never come to court, ma'am. You're not to go back. If all of your belongings are there in the event you post bond, you'll be allowed one visit to obtain personal belongings accompanied by a police officer. You cannot purchase or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You cannot possess or have access to firearms. That's it on that case. So we'll see you on your next court date. Ms. Cartwright, do I need to let the jail know you're withdrawing?
Yep.
Okay, we'll make sure they know. On the other 3 files, she's previously has a $5,000 10% bonds, and those bonds will remain in effect. They're all 5,000 10% on all 3 of the files that are in warrant status, and the warrants will be recalled. All right, we're all set.
That's 5,000 10% on each or for all 3 total?
On each and every one of them. Ms. Cartwright's going to come to court this time.
Madam Clerk?
Blair.
Yes?
Hello. Yeah, this is Robert Curry. I've been in a breakout room with my client. We were waiting for City Attorney Zick. Do you know where he's at? And the reason why I'm asking is in about 30 more minutes, I have to drive somewhere. That's why
Sure.
So yeah.
No, I understand. So you're here for Haskins. Let me go find Mr. Zick. Hold on one quick second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I've got a few files here, and I understand, counsels, I understand that everyone's frustrated with how slow today is going. There is nothing I can do about it. I have one attorney. I had a jail full of individuals. I had arraignments that took almost an hour. It's just the way the day's going. We're not having a lot of fun either. So, okay. You ready on Haskins?
We are, Your Honor.
We are, Your Honor.
All right, let me make sure we have everyone in on this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There is
The defendant's on a telephone. I can't see him. What's supposed to happen today?
I believe Mr. Curry was simply asking for a final settlement conference and a trial date. We don't want to just adjourn the pretrial, so you're going to ask for a final settlement conference. Hopefully we'll have a resolution at the next hearing.
All right, Mr. Haskins, you are no longer allowed to appear at court via Zoom. From now on, you are to be here in person. Okay?
That is fine. I'm actually at the court. There was a clerical issue on my sheet that said I was here to report directly.
Oh, well, bring him on in. All right, well, that solves that problem. All right. Amy Maudlin, our city trial days.
So does the court have tentative dates it wants us to look at, Your Honor?
Give us a second. We're trying to get them up.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, how are you today?
I'm okay. It's been a long day, but we're surviving here. But it's
Don't let this beat you up. Don't let this beat you up. It's just a job. It's all good.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor,
Hi, sir.
don't tell my wife milk bags for my lunch.
Nicholas Haskins, Your Honor.
Okay, great. All right, sir. So I see we also have Ms. Wallace present. on this case, who's the complaining witness on this case. So we're setting this for a final settlement conference and a jury trial. All right, we're calling downstairs, I think right now, or we're trying to get a jury trial date right now. With Haynes.
Your Honor, I don't believe that Mr. Curry, when he and I spoke, would have any objection just to setting a final settlement conference without the trial. If you
No,
want that, or
we're not doing that,
That's what-
because then they end up in a pile. We have a jury trial dates that we've worked out.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, and if not, it'll, you know, we're getting
Yeah, I think
backed
it's
up
better
with
to
them
keep
now.
track of it this way, so.
Amy, ask about October 4th. I only have one on 10-4.
Your Honor, one last thing.
Yes?
You granted, or the court granted an order for discovery. I know we've reached out to the court. We still haven't seen anything. Can you help me chase that down?
The prosecutor, myself, will.
Can you, Mr. Zink? Yeah, I know I
Thank
sent,
you,
I
Mr.
have a
Zink.
discovery order that's in the file, and there's a note to send it out. So, but Mr. Zick, you'll work on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right, one
Thank you, Your
second.
Honor. Thank you, Mr. Zink.
Friday, October 4th. October 4th?
Good to the people.
Okay, thank you so much.
Is that our trial date, Your Honor, or what is that day? Our final settlement?
That would be the trial date.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out the settlement conference. I just need to get the trial date locked in. Mr. Corey, is that a good date for you?
Yes, Your Honor, it is. Forgive me. Yes.
Okay, so October 4th will be our jury trial. It's in person. All parties are to appear in person at the court. And we can do our final conference, settlement conference on September 25th.
Indulge me for 1 second, Judge. Just want to make sure it's there. September
Okay.
25th, Judge.
Correct.
Um,
And it's my city docket. I'm here all day. You can pick the time.
okay, it appears I have a trial that day, Judge. Can we find a different day, Judge?
Yeah, can we do September 18th? The Wednesday before?
I have an all day long deposition starting literally at 8 o'clock in the morning, Judge.
Okay, I only have a city attorney on Wednesdays, September 11th.
I will take that and say thank you.
All right, 9/11 is the final conference. Let's just set a time now. Can we do this at 1 o'clock?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 9/11 at 1 PM and jury trial 10-4 at 9 AM.
Judge, you want us present at 1 PM at your courtroom or by Zoom?
No, on the settlement conference, everyone can appear via Zoom.
Thank you, Judge.
The only time I need to see everyone in person is the jury trial, okay? Mr. Haskins, I saw you were on a phone. I misunderstood and thought you were calling in on a phone. If you know how, you look young. If you know how to work Zoom, you're free to come to the settlement conference via Zoom, okay?
I was experiencing some technical difficulties last time, Your Honor, so I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's all, look, I miss people coming to court. You're always free to come in person, but if it's inconvenient, you can also appear via Zoom, okay?
Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thanks for being patient today, and everyone, we're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day. All right, Mr. Who do we need to have?
I need to go back and speak with Mr. Guzicki.
Okay, because I have a few that it looks like are up here as well. I don't know if you've
He's all set, Your
spoken.
Honor.
Yeah, sir, you're all set. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, and Ms. Wallace, you're also all set for the day. You'll also receive a notice in the mail of those dates, okay?
Question, I will be out of town on the 11th. I may or may not have internet access that day.
Can you call in just so you can speak with the prosecutor?
Oh, possibly not, because where I'm going, the cell service is so sporadic and the Wi-Fi is even
Okay.
worse.
Then I want you to talk to Mr. Zick, the prosecutor, ahead of time. All right? And then I'll make a note on the file so that we know, but you have to have communications with him ahead of time because that settlement conference, generally everyone must appear on that date so that it can be resolved if there's a possible resolution, okay?
Right, because the other two dates you had given were perfect, but that one, that was the one I couldn't. And unfortunately, I
Okay.
can't cancel these plans either.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna put Miss Wallace. Have you had a phone call with Mr. Zick before? Do you know how to reach him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then just call Mr. Zick and I'll put a note on the file, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, we're all set. Thank you.
It would have been nice for her to have, spoken up while the attorney and the defendant were still there. But no, she waits until the attorney leaves and then says it's not going to work for her.
Thank you.
This is 2411445, City of Taylor versus Salahudin Ahmad.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Ahmad. He's asking for an adjournment for 16 weeks so they can continue with the repairs.
I am not. Mr. Ahmad, can you turn your camera on?
Yes, Your Honor. I have it on.
Okay, I can't see you, but Mr. Ahmad, there is no way that I can adjourn these files for 4 months. I cannot do that. If you want 45 days, I can do 45 days, but I'm not going to do 16 weeks.
Okay, can we do 12 weeks?
No, the most I can do is 45 days. Now we can come back in 45 days, and if there's a possibility you need more time, we can address it then, but I'm not inclined to give an adjournment of 4 months, 3 months, or 2 months on a case. We have guidelines that we have to meet by the Michigan State Court Administrator's Office. So I'll adjourn it 45 days, and we'll see what progress you've made at that time, and then we'll address it at that next hearing, okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you'll receive notice in the mail.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Okay, good.
All right, everyone, we're in the court. I want everybody, you're in a courtroom and I can hear all of your conversations. Mr. Hassan, there you go. Okay, Mr. Dupri, I want to apologize for how long you've been waiting today. We're very backed up, but this is 231831. Can I get appearances?
Matthew Zick for the people.
James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Dupri.
All right, so it looks like this is one of these cases where we adjourned it out so that Mr. Dupri could make payment towards restitution, and in the event that restitution had been paid, the case would be dismissed. We're 6 months out. My understanding is he has consistently been making payments. The issue is I cannot keep this, at the rate he's paying, he will be paying this until April 22nd of 2025. And I cannot keep a file open on my docket for 2 years, with no status. So I'll adjourn it out 3 months to make sure he's continued to pay. And then Mr. Zick, you can.
I'll have to speak with Mr. McCauley, and he'll be advised to collect the remainder of any restitution balance through this other means.
All right. So Mr. Dupri, thank you for being patient today. You'll get a court date. We'll come back in about 3 months just to make sure you're still making payments, okay? All right, you're all set, sir.
Well, that was fun. Yeah, he was making his payments, but the amount of payments was so low that it was just barely chipping it away. Yeah. I know, right? The first person that we had that's actually paying their bills, and it's not good enough, unfortunately. It was a rough one for poor Judge Shackelford. It was a rough day. But thank you guys so much for, you know, coming and enjoying that with me. The only other thing that I have is an Amarillo docket. I mean, it's nothing wild and crazy. It's just, you know, something to watch. But it was the only thing that didn't corrupt with retrograde today. Oh, yes. Yes, we cannot forget poor Ms. Massey. Oh, she was a wild one. I almost made her the thumbnail, but, you know, the BB gun guy, he won it. He won it outright. Judge was just disgusted with him. Right? That's, you know. Probably. Yep. Oh, I love her. I love her. She's absolutely amazing. And she's so beautiful. I'm envious of how beautiful she is. Probably. Oh, you're going to bed, Shane. Good night, sweetie. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being so amazing. All right, guys. Let me put this one on.
Mr. Craig. Mr. Craig, do you remember, well, this just happened, July 22nd, operating a vehicle and expired plate, no insurance. You got those 2 tickets when you were arrested and first taken to Potter County Jail. The fine range on the operating the vehicle and the expired plate is $100 to $200. The no proof of liability insurance, that fine range is $175 to $350. If you happen to have liability insurance that you could bring to the courthouse when you come, bring it so I can dismiss that second charge. Do you think you could bring me some insurance?
I can try.
Do you think it's covered by insurance, the car that you were in?
Well, I wasn't even operating the vehicle at the time.
So do you want to plead not guilty and come see me to set it up for a trial?
Yes.
Okay, so on your not guilty plea, you are going to bond out of jail and sign a PR bond as you're leaving. So what happened to the higher charges? Did you bond on those?
On the what?
The higher charges that took you first to Potter County?
Yes, PR.
You got PR bonds on those too?
Yes, I don't have nobody.
I'm sorry?
I don't have anybody.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I was waiting to get hired as a construction.
Do you live at that address? You were.
As of right now, nowhere.
Okay. So you were.
My other property wasn't with my other property was not with my property when they sent me over here to Randall. They only left me $9 out of everything.
Well, I'm giving you a PR bond, so it doesn't cost you any money, but it is your promise that you will not miss court on the date and time of that bond. Don't miss your bond hearing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. You can return to your pod. Robert Mason.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mason, how are you today?
I've been better, but I'm all right.
I got your letter. And so this is a drug paraphernalia possession of a pipe from April 25th, 2024. Have you resolved the higher charges?
Not yet, but my attorney said go ahead and see if I can get time served for it.
Okay, so in order to talk about jail credit, you either plead guilty or no contest, but you waive your right to a trial. Are you wanting to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead?
I plead no contest.
On your no contest to drug paraphernalia possession from April the 25th of this year, I will give you time served credit. If you change your mind,
yes, ma'am.
You got 10 days to change your mind and ask to see me again. That's that's August the 5th is the deadline. After that, the judgment's final.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
So you said I did get time served though? So it's done with? Okay,
And
thank you.
long enough. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Brandon Oakley.
Right before that time.
Morning, Mr. Oakley. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, 1 second. So you received these two charges on June 21st at the same time you had higher charges at Randall County. Now, are you being transferred to another jail?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to ISF.
So you've pled on those higher charges?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so on these other charges that you got on that same day from June 21st, no driver's license, fine range is $100 to $200, court costs are $81. Are you wanting to plead not guilty and bond out, but then that means that you got to come see me when you get out of ISF? Or do you want to plead guilty or no contest and be time served?
No contest.
On your no contest plea, fine and court cost is $210. Your time served. Secondly, operating a vehicle on expired plate, fine range is $100 to $200. How do you plead?
No contest.
On your no contest plea, fine and court cost is $192. Your time served. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ms. Ochoa. I need you to explain what happened yesterday.
What do you mean?
Well, we waited and we waited to see if that payment came.
Oh, it wouldn't go through. I guess on my mom's end, the phone wasn't processing it. And after that, she doesn't have an 806 number. So when I got here, I couldn't call her. So I don't know what happened after that.
Well, it never got paid.
Okay.
Let me double.
Well, I kind of figured.
Why did you figure?
Well, because I figured they would have been up here. They had me in booking till like 11 o'clock last night. So at that point, I kind of figured it wasn't settled.
Hold on. Hey, Karen, she's got the 3 new tickets that she got. And so I need you to print those to me. Okay, so on the capious warrants, they are for a fail to maintain financial responsibility a second. You owe $484 on that. You owe $182 on a speeding ticket from September 5th, 2019. The last payment we received on those was $2/21 of 2020. Then we had COVID happen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you never paid, and then we kept trying to get you to come back in because during COVID, we really weren't issuing warrants. And so we tried many times to get you to come in to talk about not paying, and you just never did. So those have been at warrant since late in 2020. Why didn't you come try to resolve those when we continue to try to get you to come in?
I wasn't actually in Amarillo. I had left. I was in a really bad place relationship wise. And whenever I left, my dad came and picked me up, and I never really settled anything here. I just disappeared. And recently I came back and I got put over. Now I'm here.
So you recently returned. So you owe at Capious $666. Since
yes,
you felt like you could pay it yesterday, I don't feel like you're indigent. I don't get the feeling that you're too poor to pay them. If you could get somebody to go online and pay, even though didn't work. What do you do for a living?
I clean houses. My mom has a cleaning service company.
What is the name of it?
It's called M Cleaning. She just barely started maybe a year ago. So now it's starting to pick up, and that's who's been employing me. That's who's been helping me.
Were you aware that you had these warrants?
I really wasn't until yesterday when I got pulled over and the cop told me.
I guess I'm just wondering why, no one told you that your name was on the list or anything like that, because our mail didn't come back. We sent the warrant letters. I'm going to look right now where we sent them. We sent notice to appear for show cause to the address that you had given us. None of the mail ever came back. The courtesy letter went to an address on Southeastern. That mail never came back.
Yeah, if it went to, was it, yes, ma'am, that's the house that I had left from, so there's no way that I would have gotten any of those
But
letters. or anything.
whoever lives there wasn't turning it back in, you know?
I'm not even entirely sure anybody lives there.
Yeah, but usually the mailman sends it back if nobody's taking the mail out of the box. So, I mean, you didn't give me a new address I can't track you down unless you
I
tell
did
me.
give you an address, it's on Orange.
I know you just now gave it to
Oh,
me.
okay, I was like, I thought I
But
did.
you didn't do that on your own free will and say, hey, I've moved. And so, do you get food stamps?
No, ma'am.
Do you get HUD housing?
No, ma'am.
Do you have children?
No.
So you just support yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna find you're not indigent. You didn't make a good faith effort to discharge the fine and court costs. You sure could have done that without any undue hardship. The total, which started yesterday at $666, I'm gonna reduce that total by $300 jail credit, which is very generous, but I'm giving you 2 days. So as of right now, you owe $666 less 300, which is $366. So now when you make that phone call, that's what you're asking somebody to pay.
Okay.
I've given you today already, so it won't go down another $150 again until tomorrow about this.
Okay.
Okay, so then you got those new tickets yesterday. Operating a vehicle in expired plate, fine range is $1 to $200. You have the right to plead not guilty because you have the right to hire an attorney. You have a right to have a trial. Or you can bring me back proof that y'all have updated the registration. What do you want to do?
Whenever I get out, I can bring you the papers and stuff for the car.
Let's plead not guilty to that.
Okay.
And then no driver's license. What do you want to do?
Guilty.
Okay, on your guilty plea, finding court costs is $175. Since you went to jail, I'll time serve you on that. And then the plate, the problem with the car, it was a dealer plate violation. That fine range is $1 to $200, $1 to $2,000. What's the deal with the car?
Honestly, I really don't know. Yesterday was one of the first days that I was driving it, and I'm not entirely sure how all the paper plates and stuff work.
Whose car is it? Because if it has
It's my brother's.
Is
He
he
was
a
just
car
letting
dealer?
me use it. Yes, ma'am. He was letting me use it since I had just came back.
So a person who's a car dealer can only drive the car with, like, the dealer has to be there with you. It's for test driving. So
Okay.
the only time a car that's for sale should be on the road is if somebody's test driving it. You can
Okay.
borrow a dealership car is really the basic rule. Now, do you want to plead not guilty on that? And let's figure out what's the deal with the.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're gonna get 2 PR bonds. So when you either sit out or pay, you know, you owe $666. Let's do. You owe $366. You have, and if you sit them out, it's another 2.5 days starting tomorrow. So tomorrow is the 25th, 26th. You get out sometime on the 27th.
Okay, that's fine.
So the 27th is Saturday. When you're time for you to leave the bond, regardless of if somebody pays it or if they don't, when you leave the jail, you're gonna bond out. That bond is gonna tell you when to come see me back at my courthouse, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you soon. It'll probably be either Friday or Monday, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ramirez. You have a similar situation with a drug paraphernalia possession, but more recently you pled to that on 7/25 of 2023. You also pled on August 21st of 2023, so about a year ago, to a speeding ticket. We set a payment plan of $75 every 2 weeks, and the last that I showed you paid was March of this year. Why didn't you come and see me?
During March, my whole truck messed up, so getting around was kind of hard. So I tried setting up the online, the video.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't know if I
didn't look at it right. I didn't see if anything was approved, and I was like, oh, maybe because it's a warrant, I got to go up there now. And I work Monday through Friday, 7 to 6. So every time I get out of work, it's really kind of closed. And if I do, I got to leave early, and I got to bug somebody for a ride. So that's when I started trying doing the online. But I guess I never completed through with it.
But we sent you a pending warrant letter, so it's not like you had to come on that particular day. When you miss a payment or miss 2 payments, we send you a pending warrant letter.
Yes,
Then we
ma'am.
set you for show cause, which shuts you down from being able to even make a payment. So that tells me you really didn't try to make a payment, or you would have known. You didn't call. The only thing you did is you did ask for that virtual hearing, but then you missed that one too. And that one was after it was at warrant.
So I did get approved for that.
Yeah, they sent you.
Oh, I'm so dumb, man.
Yeah, you just missed it. So you owe a total of $1039. I'm gonna give you $300 jail credit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That means you owe $739. Let me see where you got. And then you started out in Potter County.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened to those charges?
I'm not too sure. I think they dropped one of them, and the other one I just got to stay away from my sister.
So you've got a protective order. So when you get out, where are you gonna live?
I'm gonna go stay with my friend Claudia and my friend Jess. They have an extra room for me.
You have a place to be.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not even gonna lie. The
Yeah,
only thing I really think I'm really nervous about is losing my job. I work at Amazon, and during that time, March through kind of right now, I got hurt on my foot. It was like, I don't know what it was. So I was out of work for at least a month, but I finally got back in, and I'm not gonna lie, I only have like maybe like so many hours of UPT. And once I go negative, I kind of lose my job, and I'm really not trying to, because I was eventually gonna get back to y'all. I don't like having tickets or nothing like that. And I paid them off before. This one I just got really behind because this year has not been my friend at all.
I'm just gonna look at your history. You've had a lot of tickets on these that were from the new seatbelt driver. I think that one was part of this payment plan. That's the one you paid off. Paid that one off in March. The older ticket of 2022. Just looking at some of your older ones. The compliance dismissal for that. You paid that one off in 2021. It sounded like the issue that took you to Potter County was something that you might have a drinking problem. Do you have a drinking problem?
No, Your Honor, just me and my sisters were drinking that day, and we're already on like, with my little sister, we just got into an argument with her maybe like a year or two ago. So it was my first time seeing her, and I think when she saw me and I just like asked where her boyfriend was, Hayden, she's like, I don't want to start. Like, it was just a whole mess, and we were all drunk. So when the Ramirez's get drunk, it's never good.
Okay. So I'm going to find that I cannot determine whether or not you're indigent, even though I kind of feel like you're not. Therefore, you're released from custody. Again, let me be sure I've given you your $300 jail credit. Karen, I'm going to put the $300 jail credit on the speeding. So that one almost gets closed out.
What does indegenerate mean?
Huh?
What does indegenerate mean?
Indigent means too poor to pay your fines. But really, I'm releasing you based on your history of paying. It's not like I look there and that we've remanded you every time. I don't want you to lose your Amazon job. Sounds like you got a big family mess brewing. So let's get out. Do not violate that protective order or you will be back in jail.
Yes, Your Honor, I won't.
So when you come see me, can you come see me tomorrow at 2?
Actually, yes, I can. I'll take my break early. Yes, ma'am, I can.
You could come at 11.
I go to work from, well, we're on MET right now because July, the Black Friday for July, whatever. It got us 2 weeks of MET. So it's like from 6:30 to 6. But I get a 45-minute break at 2:30. Is there any chance I can see you at 2:30?
Tomorrow's Thursday. No, you need to be here about 1:45. You can
Uh,
either come at
I can make
10:45 and see me at 11, or you can come at 1:45 and see me at 2, and I'll give you a choice. You can either come on Thursday or Friday.
You know what? Can I do Friday? I'll be off this Friday. This Thursday, I got the MET, so I have to be there Thursday.
Okay, so you want to come on Friday, which is the 26th. You want to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my order says you're to appear, bring proof of income, proof of expenses. If you've got bills, I need to see them. You're gonna be here at 2 on or before 7/26 at 2. After that, these turn back into KPS, okay? And the total goes up because all that jail credit, I would have a warrant fee.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank
so I'll see you on or before Friday at 2. You can see me Thursday at 11, Thursday at 2, Friday at 11, or Friday at 2. Any questions?
So as far as getting out today, will I be able to? I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to get to work.
Yeah, so go to work today if you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you Thursday at 11 or 2 or Friday at 11 or 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for everything.
Turn to your pod. Mr. Mendez. Hi, Mr. Mendez. We got a mess, right? You agree?
Yes, I got 3 tickets I need to try to pay off.
Well, you owe $855 and it's at Capias, and the last I saw you was on April 7th of 2022, so it's been over 2 years, and you were agreed to pay $150 online and then $100 a month. And I show the last payment we received was on that next day, 4/8 of 2022. Why didn't you follow through or come back and see me to change it?
To be honest, I don't remember 100%. I do know that I had a back injury a little after that, and I couldn't work anymore for a little while. I had a bulging disc and stuff, and they mentioned to me that I almost I had a chance of getting what's it called? Paralyzed. Thank God I'm not paralyzed. I'm working again now and stuff, and I'm in an okay spot, and I wanted to see if I could do a settlement. I had a brochure. I couldn't find it, but it was from the Amarillo Police Department, talking about a settlement for people who wanted to pay off their warrants. I wanted to see if that was still available.
Gosh, I'd sure like to see what it is that you have that talks about a settlement. Really, what I need you to do, Mr. Mendez, is come see me in person and bring that brochure, because I am not aware of any brochure. I'm a little wary of it because I don't know of it. Now, we did have, in the old days, a long time ago, we used to have what was called the Warrant Roundup. And I know that we sent out cards that talked about that you had the right to come and see us at any time, but that's your right, period. And and I need you to walk in on your own 2 feet without having it be that the police interacted with you. And so is there any reason you can't come see me Monday through Friday at anywhere between 8 and 4:30? Just come in.
Well, I do work from 9 to 5 every day. I could ask for a day off probably.
Well, I don't know that you would have to ask for a day off if you came in like right at 8. We'll round up a judge and we'll see you right away. And
Okay, we can do that.
You can come prepared, bringing proof of income, proof of expenses. Show me that handout so that I can be sure that it's ours that we sent out. But I'm willing to work with you as long as you come in. Doing virtual, especially since the last time I think I saw you virtually and it just didn't work out. I want all the paperwork if we allow another payment plan or if we talk about community service. I want you here to sign everything you need to sign.
Okay. I actually don't have that brochure. I was looking for it in my house. I found another paper, but I think it just talks about what you mentioned earlier, the warrant roundup thing.
Yeah. So come see me. I'll be here tomorrow at 8. You can come in, just tell the bailiffs as they open the door, hey, I'm here, I have a warrant. They'll check you in and I'll see you in a courtroom as soon as everybody's ready. But I need you to be here in person. Like I said, bring proof of income, proof of expenses, proof that maybe you had that back injury, so that we could talk reasonable what you think you can do going forward.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, the warrants are going to be active until you come see me in person. Okay, Mr. Mendez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you.
I would be nervous if I had warrants and the judge said, no, you got to come in person. I got to see you to deal with this. I would be very nervous. I would not want to go in. But that's just me. But I also don't have warrants. So there's that.
Miss McAdoo,
Yes, ma'am.
can you start your video?
Yes, ma'am. One moment, please.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
So you
Hello.
have a similar situation as the gentleman I talked to first. I hope you were listening. You have 2 charges, operating a vehicle on expired plate and a no seatbelt driver, that you pled on more recently than he. One was January, one was March of this year. And we set a payment plan, but what happened was you never really got back to the collections department with your agreement to pay. And I showed that the agreement was 50 biweekly. I saw you on March 1st, and I don't think anything ever happened. I don't think you ever made a payment. You never signed the payment plan agreement. Then when we sent you notice to appear for a show cause hearing, April 22nd was that day, you didn't come. And I think maybe I noticed some return mail. Did you happen to move?
Yes, and my address has been updated, at least per the Zoom email, it shows an updated address.
Right, but you updated it to me after you got a warrant. Then the other thing that happened with regard to you that would have solved any problems you had with these Acapias is that you kept getting tickets. You got tickets on March 10th of 2024 that had you come in on those. You would have avoided warrants, but you didn't. And then you got tickets on March 26th of 2024, and we never saw you. So everything's at warrant. So you're just like the gentleman right before you. I'm not going to make a resolution online because that was sort of the beginning of our problems, is not getting paperwork signed. I need you to come see me in person. Is there a reason you can't?
Yes, I'm currently in, it's my living situation. I can try to be there. It's not just my living situation, it's my 2 children. If they were to seeing how they are a warrant, they normally lock you up when you come in. You'll have to sit out before you see a judge. I wouldn't have anybody to take care of my 2 children while I set my tickets out because I don't have any way to pay them. I'm unemployed as well as being homeless. I'm in a program that's willing to help me pay those tickets.
What program are you in?
Martha's Home.
You're at Martha's Home?
Yes.
Come on over and bring your Martha's Home. Sometimes the lady at Martha's Home will come with you.
Yeah, that's what she said she would do, that she would come with me. She would be able to drop off a payment and see if we can make
I'm not so worried about anybody from Martha's Home paying your tickets. I'm just wanting you to come resolve all your warrants so that you're not afraid that you're going to get arrested every minute of every day. And so you just need to get with somebody at Martha's Home and come with them. How old are your children?
I have a 7-year-old. She'll be 7 in August, and then I have a 5-year-old.
I mean, they're big enough to show up. We open at 8, we close at, I don't like you to come after 4:30 because we're actually kind of closing down. But 8:30, get a ride here from Martha's Home. It's not that far. You can come in, bring your children with you. They'll sit right where they can see you the whole time. It'll be okay. But I need that assurance that you are at Martha's Home, and the Martha's Home people will come with you, and then I'll talk to you about community service. And then Martha's Home can help you get some community service.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Do I have to schedule it or we just come in?
You just come in because the warrants are active until you walk in my doors, and then we'll deal with the warrants and what you owe after you decide how you're going to plead on all those extra tickets you got in earlier this year.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So I'll
Yes.
see you soon. Come in. I'll be expecting you as soon as possible.
Okay,
Thank you. You're free to go.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I like how she leaves the warrants active. She doesn't recall them like a lot of them do. I really like that about her. But she is like, I don't know, overly sugar syrup nice. Even her voice is very momming. Huh. Yep. 100%. I feel that. Well, you know, if the punishment is a fine, then it's only a punishment for poor people. And people with money can do whatever they want and break whatever laws they want because they can afford to. But people like you and me, if the punishment is a fine, we're screwed. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It's not a bad way of doing it, though. Yeah, I know I need to. I'm tired, guys. I gotta go bring Ava in, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Y'all keep talking me in to, going longer and longer and longer. Last night was like minutes shy of 4 hours. Just minutes. Yes. Good night, you guys. Thank you all for coming out. I love you guys all so much. All right. Oh, thank you. All right, you guys. Thanks again for what a wonderful night we had. So much fun. My life just wouldn't be the same without you guys in it. And I appreciate every single one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.